Shining lights paint the skies, all because of you. Can make me move. You can make me move.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Celia and I'm a Danish model, actress, conscious creator and angelic coach. And today I'm gonna touch upon a subject that a lot of you have asked me about. Why did I start modeling? So modeling for me is actually a very spiritual quest, believe it or not. Even if it seems like a very superficial industry, it has for me to do everything about my own spirituality, and I'll explain you guys why. If you want to see how I started modeling, I'm gonna make a different video on that, but for now we're gonna focus on why. And I did make another video of how you can start modeling, and I basically followed the same template, so you can go check that one out. But for now, let's focus on the why. So to make a very long story short, basically in my teens I was going through a lot of challenges. I had suicidal depression and it reached a crisis when I was around 18 that was very, very big. I was basically at a crossroad in life and I had to make a decision of, was I gonna continue to live or not? And I decided life, so I knew I had a lot of work to do, and this work was internal. Basically, I started working a lot on myself. I had tried following the mainstream route for a while and that didn't lead me anywhere, so I knew I had to take things into my own hands. So I started changing my diet, I started changing my mindset, I started changing the people I was around, my lifestyle. Basically, I went from a very standard Danish young person to become really entrenched into spiritual subjects. I was eating like a raw fruitarian diet. I was really into yoga. Basically, I ended up moving to the mountains in Spain. I did a 22-day water fast followed by a fruitarian diet and followed by a lot of prayer. I was praying so much to see my purpose, to understand my purpose, to understand why I was here, because I knew that depression and pointlessness, it couldn't be the reasons. So I was searching inside myself, and in that time I was also doing a very deep meditation that through brainwave entrainment is supposed to go deep into your subconscious and bring up subconscious memories, blockages, etc. So it was a really powerful time, and basically what ended up happening was that in a vision, it was like one day out of the blue, in an airport, I saw a vision of my future self, and my future self was walking the runway of a very well-known brand. And at that moment I was a very spiritual, rejecting all material stuff and basically just living like a very ascetic life. For me it was really weird because I was very distant from that world, but the vision was so strong and so clear. It was basically like my future self coming down, giving a hand, like telling me, hey, this is what you can become. Take my hand, follow my lead, and I will show you what you can become. I can't really describe a moment like that. Like, if you haven't experienced it, you won't know exactly how it feels, but it's just life-changing. Like, you have no doubt that what you just saw was not just a fluke of your imagination, but it was something powerful, it was something meaningful. And from that day on, honestly, my life changed, and I knew what my mission was, even if it didn't make sense. But that was also the first step for me, because I had distanced myself so much from the material world that I was unbalanced at the time. Like, I was only connected with the spiritual, so this purpose was also helping me find that balance again. But more than that, I have since, through the meditation that I was doing, discovered that when I was 5 years old, my dream was to model. I didn't know what it was, but I had a memory come up of me being at a photo shoot for my parents and realizing that this was what I wanted to do. Feeling this pure joy and love of what I was doing, and just knowing that this is what I'm supposed to do. So actually, and that came later, so this vision helped me discover like what I believe to be my soul path, my soul purpose. And I'll explain very shortly that I believe we all have a soul path and a soul purpose. It may not be 100% set in stone, but there is certainly a theme, and that theme and that path is what helps us face all of the obstacles we have in the way of aligning with our higher eternal self. So basically, this path for me is what helps me see everything I need to work on inside myself in order to release all blockages towards God's love and to let God's love in fully, so that I can be a shining example of this love, so that I can live fully aligned with my highest, true, eternal self. Of course, this higher version of myself I already had an idea of before I saw this future self, and that's what allowed me to connect with it. I knew there was a higher version of myself, and I was praying to connect with it. So as you can see, this is a very spiritual subject for me. Actually, deep down, I'm really just a fruit-loving yogi, and I like my quiet time in the mountains. But on the other hand, this purpose is helped me grow more than anything. It's helped me see the things that was in the way of allowing in the good, the things that made inside myself that made me believe I wasn't worthy, wasn't deserving, I wasn't capable, etc. I think we all have that big dream deep down that most people bury because they think they can't do it, or because they've been programmed into thinking that they can't do it, when they really can. So what this purpose has taught me also more than anything is about the power that I have inside. Power to create my own reality. The power to decide this is what I want my life to be. Because that is also part of our purpose. We have the same power as God, which is the power to create. And that's what God wants us to understand and discover. We have a power to create from our free will. Of course, we can create things that are not aligned, or we can create things that are aligned with God's love. And my desire has always been to create a higher version of me that is fully aligned with God's love. So yeah, I mainly do it for my spiritual growth. That's how I started. And I cannot even tell you the kind of person I am today. It's just so many levels up from where I started. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that this has helped me grow immensely. And I still have so much beautiful growth. I feel like I'm just on the beginning of the path. And I also noticed that the amount of success I experience in my modeling career is directly correlated to the internal work that I do, to how much I choose God's love, to how much I choose to love myself, to how much I choose to give and love to others. It is really related to that. And that is what helps me see the connection between personal growth and achieving this mission. And of course, I have very specific, very big goals for my modeling, and that is those goals that keep me going on a daily basis. Basically, my desire then is to achieve these goals and be an example of God's love for everyone, to be a shining example of what is possible when we choose love, when we choose faith, when we choose to align with our nature and reclaim our power. Because in reality, this is not just for me. Sure, I will achieve my soul growth, but it is for the whole of the planet, because we are right now going through an ascension, and all of this information is crucial for everyone in order to understand their true origin and their true power. And that is also one of the biggest things I've realized, is this power I contain inside that I see so many people reject. And that's why I started Conscious Creator by Celia, because I want people to understand that they are so powerful. They have so much power inside, and then understand practically how they can uncover this power, how they can reclaim it. So on a more physical standpoint, like, I have some other reasons for modeling. And first of all, it is to be a healthy example for model. Like, it's funny we call models like a role model, you know? When unfortunately so many of them are forced to be skinnier than what is natural for them, dieting, eating disorder. Of course, not all of them, but a lot of them are. And when I was 10, I developed anorexia because I really wanted to look like the models in the magazines, because I wanted to model, but I felt like I couldn't because of how I looked. So of course I want to be one of those healthy examples of a woman who respects and honors her body, who listens to her body, who feeds it, nourishes it properly, and of course also with our species-specific diet, which I talk about more on my channel, so that hopefully I can be the model in the magazines and in the commercials and on the billboards, etc., that will make little girls understand that if they love and honor themselves, they can reach a high potential in life as well. And then of course, to be an example of what is possible when you choose God's love. I want to achieve this through love, and to show people that it is possible to achieve our highest potential through love. There are so many people that try to get ahead by diminishing their integrity, doing things they don't want to do, and even if it may be faster, I don't know if it is, I just want to choose love, and that's what I want to be an example of. And of course, to be part of creating a healthy fashion industry. There's so many toxic things going on in the fashion industry, but there's also so much potential. In reality, it's an industry for art, for creativity, for self-expression. For me, it's one of the highest frequency industries. Like, there's so much potential. Yet it has been used for some darkness, in the sense of making women fit a certain size, or even having fashion based more on chaos rather than harmony. And I just want to be part of creating this industry that is based on love, beauty, harmony, art, creativity, freedom, self-expression. The way that I envision the industry really to be. I cannot even maybe explain it with words, but I have a clear image in my mind. And yeah, of course, again, to be an example of a conscious creator, and that's why I created Conscious Creator by Celia. And to be an example of the fact that we can all create our own life. So yes, you can see it's more of a higher purpose for me, and it's helping me personally grow, and hopefully also helping me be an inspiration to other people. That's my highest goal, and it's for this reason that I started Conscious Creator by Celia, because I knew I needed something where I could express all of the things I was going through, express my growth, express my ideas, because really helping other people is the main thing that inspires me. I have to be honest with that. There was a time when I was trying to do modeling just for me, and it just didn't, I couldn't do it. It was too empty, you know. There needed to be a purpose, which was that of helping uplift other people together with uplifting myself. So that's why I created Conscious Creator by Celia, and that's also why I wrote How to Communicate with the Angels. Basically, in How to Communicate with Angels, I explain everything I did to uncover my purpose. Every single thing, and it's very practical steps that everyone can use. And the main purpose of this book is to help people align with their higher selves. I know it's called How to Communicate with the Angels, but in reality it's because you need to connect with your own higher self in order to be able to communicate with the angels. So it's all internal work, and it's all about, maybe a better title will be How to Become an Angel, Earth Angel, without dying. Okay, get it right here, like how to activate your angelic DNA, because that's basically what these practical steps in the book are doing. And I just wanted to write this book so that everyone can have something practically in hand that they can do if they feel inspired by what I'm doing, if they feel inspired by my example, and if they have this calling to connect with the divine. So I'm still working on an updated version of the book, which will be out, well, as soon as possible, hopefully. And again, it's all to document basically my journey and everything that I've been doing. And that's also why I offer coaching on my website, oracle readings. It's all with the purpose of helping you guys align with your higher eternal self, to align with this unlimited self that can live the life that you desire. Alright guys, I know that that was a lot of info. I actually really want to thank you guys for asking me about this, because it's helped me put more into words why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's also wonderful for me to be able to share it with someone who's listening to me, like you right now, because it is very personal. And for many years I didn't share this with anyone, because it was just my own personal journey, and it was just my own personal mission, and there are not really many people that know about this, and now you guys do. So thank you for giving me the space to share something that's very close to my heart and very personal. I hope that somehow it will inspire you and benefit you, and you are of course more than welcome to join the journey. I will document as much as possible here on my channel. And also do go follow Conscious Creator by Celia, my other YouTube channel. I might actually merge the two, because modeling, as you can see, has in the end to do with my spiritual growth. So that might very well happen. But for now I separated the two to have all the modeling advice here on this channel, but I think it will eventually get merged. Again, thank you so much guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and your feedback, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Ciao!